Lifelink Vigilance, Trample Indestructible, Flying 13/15, Gilded Goose. Sure. Hello YouTube, welcome to MTGA, and today we are going to have a look at Sythis Harvest Hand in Historic Brawl. This deck aims to win by playing a bunch of enchantments, drawing a ton of cards, and winning the game. Yeah, so basically Sythis Harvest Hand is probably no new commander if you've played Historic Brawl for quite a bit. This particular version plays 40 enchantments, which for my taste is still too low, but there is some really good cards in the deck that I believe belong there that are not enchantments. Overall, this version here is it basically has trimmed all the fat. Like, yes, you can see my curve. I don't play even cards like Cathar's Crusade because like I want all my win conditions to be individually powerful, even if I have nothing else on the board, right? That is the whole idea. Or just like a few random enchantments lying around, right? Like a Nettlecyst can grow absolutely massive, but it's still like a fine body. If I have just like 3 enchantments, like a Wolfwillow Haven and a Song of Freyalise here, and like leather armor also counts for Nettlecyst specifically, right? And what this does is you don't necessarily need cost reducers. Like your enchantments are quite cheap anyways. I know these get pretty much halved if I reduce their cost by 1, but then I would put an additional non-enchantment into the deck, and I think that's just not worth it. You want to have as high enchantment density as possible in the deck. Also, this specific version is a modified version for a list I created for a tournament with 2 swaps. So the Mirari's Wake and the Rest in Peace were used to be Grafdigger's Cage and Containment Priest, because tournaments usually have a lot of Kinnan and Winota in them, and those get hit by those specific cards. And yeah, that's basically the swaps I did for the public play queue here. Overall, we play a ton of interaction in enchantment form, or like just slowdown effects. Something like a Detention Vortex is extremely powerful in slowing the opponent down, because we pay 1 mana, draw a card, and then they have to pay 3 it's basically a 2 mana ritual in a way to compare to the opponent, and then we draw a card, which is pretty great. We still have like cards like Portable Hold in here. We just want anti-aggro removal, and against control, the game plan is usually just stick one of the really important enchantments on the field. Something like a Sigil of the Empty Throne can just absolutely demolish decks. And one of the best ones to get down is Enchantress Presence, because it's basically a harder to remove commander in this case. Yeah, so this is the basic idea of the deck. I hope you enjoyed today's list. If you do, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And let's go. We are ready to play the mirror match against Sythis Harvest Hand, and we have a lot of tech against that. Oh, the Mana Tithe is a really strong card here, because they try to play the commander now, and we just tithe it, and they're set. Aha! And I think we just followed up with our own commander. Like, everything else is just super awkward on the curve. They play Mana Dork, we can just Detention Vortex it. Prison Realm. Yep. I let that go to exile, so I'm going to bring it back with Borrow Time. Yep. Beautiful. So now I assume they play their commander. Oh no, Skyclave. I think that was the wrong one. I think they, because now if this dies, I get an actual 3-drop, and I could, if I had another removal spell, I could have removed this again. Okay, just force Sythis out on the field. Eventually they run out of removal. Yep, and they play a Starfield Mystic. That is absolutely fine by me. I would love to get removal here, obviously. Or, you know, just absolutely pop off next turn. That is also fine by me. Oh, absolutely pop off next turn. Okay, we are in business. If... Like, they have one turn to do a lot of things, arguably, right? Starfield Mystic is a scary card, but this is the exact card I was talking about to, like, not include into the deck, because I'd rather draw on the card here and have, like, a enchantment on the field. Okay, they are going with a Ranger Captain, then they crack it in upkeep, I believe. Which would be a very, very good play. I can still play my Catilda if they crack in the upkeep. It's just not super huge. It's going to be a 4/4. Let's see. They're too low on white mana currently, which is pretty good for us. And they can't swing in. Yep, upkeep stop for the Ranger Captain crack. That is as expected. Yep, and we just followed up with the Catilda. Not much we can do here. They slowed us down by one turn, and they also have the Alseid ready to go. They do have a ton of mana here, but the bottleneck now becomes who gets to draw more cards, because if they just run out of enchantments in hand, they're in trouble. And since I have the Enchantress presence, I feel quite confident, and even the removal spell doesn't do too much here because I still have the Mirari's Wake on the field. And Catilda is a really strong threat in the air that just swings a ton. Oh. Okay. Okay. Sure. That's a thing. So here's the thing. A ton of decks play all these big threats, and the reason why I don't play those is I want to have early game consistency. So you will see me lose probably against like these super fat finishers. But I don't value having these in the deck over just like the early game consistency to be able to deal with all these cards in the first place. Attacks them by 3 mana. Yep. And Ulamog is actually not that scary anymore in this format, because it doesn't kill you in like 2 hits, it takes like 4 now. Maybe 3 in this particular case, right? Yeah, I take this. And oh, there goes my Sigil of an Empty Throne. Yeah, Sigil. I'm taking this, and then my game plan is winning off the Setessan Champion. And then gain trample. Yep, this so.
I will protect the virtue of this world.
Yep.
Behold, nature's true power.
And we will wait on the land drop to see what we need here actually. Draw down of cards. The Mirari's Wake would have been really strong earlier. I like to have that. Like, Ulamog was really good for them here. I just draw so many cards here. Oh my god. Okay, I do like a Season of Growth, drawing me 4 cards again, growing the Setessan Champion. Okay, Calyx can deal with the Ulamog. The question is, do I hold up a God's Willing, or do I like to grow my board with an Unbridled Growth? Like, I'm going to chump this Ulamog with my Satyr Enchanter for sure, because I feel like having the life gain is pretty important, and I already have so many cards. I feel like they just don't have enough card draw here, so If I could gain a ton of life later on with Cleric class. So I'm like at what? Like 20 more cards to draw in this game. Pretty easily. Cleric class versus holding up God's Willing. The real deal is this Calyx anyways, right? Because that gets rid of the Ulamog eventually. Yup. Okay. And I think I will never ever need untapped lands. So, tapped lands, I mean. I can probably get rid of all of you. Get rid of you. I don't actually want to thin my deck here. Probably don't need you in the future. How many more? 3 more. This is a finisher for sure. Honestly, I don't need like lands at all. I'm going to draw into a land here. And then Rest in Peace is likely not that impactful because all of these are cheaper. Yeah, going to draw a ton more, and I don't think Rest in Peace will matter at all. Scry to the bottom, that's what I want to see. Perfect. Paladin class. Oh my god, wait, is that actually lethal now? That is a real good draw by them. Yeah. Okay, they untap a land. Wait, no, they have lethal because what they do is they give... Oh yeah, I missed that. Yes, I couldn't have done anything against that anyways. So they have lethal by just giving Ulamog protection from green. But there was nothing I could have done about that anyways. Okay, they keep back the Sanctum Weaver. What do they give double strike to? Like, those are the 2 cards I need to block, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, they missed it. So, chump you, chump you. So the question becomes, do I still live if I block here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this evens out, and then... yeah, I still live, right, at 1. Yeah, and 1 is not 0, and I think I have to get rid of this Alseid. Wait, no, okay. They missed lethal again. Because, you know, they are unable to activate this Alseid, you know, apparently. Otherwise, no, they're not unable to. So they could have sacrificed this Alseid to give, to stop this lifelink here. But now, I just need to create, why? I just need to create chump blockers every turn, right? So I need to exile this Ulamog. That is a thing that for sure happens. Right? Can't block, and activated abilities can't be activated. I need to put this down. Draws me a bunch of cards as well, which is great. Oh, all that glitters. Is that enough to raise them? Just straight up? Paladin class I don't feel like is going to be mattering here. Yeah, let's just try to raise them, shall we? Okay. Oh, that's a circle of confinement. What can I get with that? The problem here is this Archon. I think I just need blockers, don't I? Yeah, I think I do. Scry 1. Draw a card. And we have this Satyr Sanctuary or Unbridled Growth. Or do I keep up the Alseid? No. I think I don't. Rather have Unbridled Growth for the future. Seems pretty good. So I have to attack here, otherwise I just swing into the air. And do I still have Trample in the deck? No, I don't. That is unfortunate. Okay, gain 17 life. That is pretty good. Discard 5 cards, sure. All these lands I don't need actually. Can try to win off this Hollowed Haunting. No, literally all the lands. I still think I have some lands in the deck, don't I? I'm just trying to think right now what my enchantments are that I... Sigil is gone as well. Don't have a way to give trample, only... Wait, do I still have an Ancestral Mask in there to just gain so much life that they can't deal with it? Yes, I actually do have an Ancestral Mask in there, so that's the reason to keep another Tutor. Don't think it's Selfless Savior does it. And then... They can't block... Like, I don't need to draw cards here. I don't think Hollowed Haunting does it, kinda. Wait, no, oh, okay, I just messed up, I was confused why. Okay, yeah, let's keep the Selfless Savior then to chump. Something to do that's not an enchantment, otherwise I just draw too many cards, don't I? So they deal 10 in the air here from that? Okay, Idyllic Tutor actually does it. Yeah, that's a GG. That's a pretty good top deck. I needed them to not whiff here. And then I could have had the possibility of just gaining so much life off of each Setessan Champion attack. But now they for sure have something here that is lethal. Yeah, Ancestral Mask, all like plenty of options, That doesn't do it. Like, they exile my Setessan Champion, but they could have just went for lethal. I am a bit confused here what is going on. What? Okay, I guess. I still have the Ancestral Mask out, right? Because the, like, Ancestral Mask counts all enchantments on the battlefield, doesn't it? Is that lethal? Oh no, I think it is lethal anyways, because I need this lifelinker to stay around. Okay. That gains double strike, that is fine. So that's 10. That's lethal in every case. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah. So I would have lost anyways. Anyways, GG. We are ready to play against Tatyova Benthic Druid. And Tatyova lost a ton of power with the banning of Field of the Dead. Like, the deck is certainly no way as scary anymore as you might have think. Okay, that's a pretty good card. I think I'm just not respecting the turn 2 mana dorks, and I'm just going for this play that leaves me open with Sythis into Mana Tithe on turn 2. Which I do enjoy quite a bit. Yep. Going to Curse of Silence you. Tatyova Benthic Druid. And this is an interesting spot. I'm just not going to attack with the Sythis here. Yep, I'm leaving up the Jispera Sentinel. Elder Gargaroth. Honestly, kind of fine with that. Can just Trapped in the Tower that. Yeah. They do get to draw one card off of that, but I think that's fine. Oh, perfect. There is the untapped land. I think I want to crack for green, I assume. I kind of want to push damage. Like, I can go for like a Song of Freylace play here. No, I think that's... yeah. Honestly, nah. We go full greed. Whatever. We just keep up our blessing or our all these cool cards basically. That's a Nissa who shakes this world. That will be met by my borrowed time in the near future. Yep.
Rise, my elemental friend.
So you know what I'm going to do? Going to do a annoying thing here, where I attack this and they are forced to yep, beautiful. And next up, let's see. Oh, I can do this. Yep. So the reason this was so good here is because I forced them to block, and then I took the Nissa. Now they are down on lands, and this is what the mirror match is about. Just having. Wait, did I just miss? I could have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So I could have. So I didn't miss it. It's just I could have used this Mirari's Wake and then go into the borrow time. The problem there was that I wouldn't be able to hold up like these cards at instant speed because the one floating would go away. And I value just having the Mana Tithe here. And like, if just so much interaction up, really. Yay, we did it, we're so good, yay! Still, GG opponent. We are ready to play against Heliod. And let's see where this takes us. Heliod, we kind of... opponent goes first. That's kind of bad for us. I think I just want better early interaction. Oh yeah, Mana Tithe is amazing against Heliod, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to do something sneaky here. So if I play the Temple and then I play an untapped land, they wonder why I didn't play Sythis, right? I'm going to start on the plains, and then I'm following it up with a Temple, just so they... oh man, okay, I have to Mana Tithe that. That whole plan just basically crumbled after the Arcane Signet. Oh, but we do have... Sterling Grove first. I just want to be safe on resolving this. Yeah, but now they could have done land drop and then Heliod, right? And if they don't have a land drop anyways, they can't play Heliod now. So this is why, yeah, okay, they can't play Heliod here, which is pretty good for us. Oh my god. Yeah, you guys know what this means, right? This is so brutal. Curse. Heliod. And they can't remove Sythis because it has Shroud. They need to deal with the Sterling Grove first. And I assume that they don't like this. Dude, just a wild guess. Heliod Suncrowned is the... yeah, it's Suncrowned, okay. So that's pretty good, I assume. We can go... oh, it's a bit awkward here, actually. Yep. I can take their mana away with the Altar of the Pantheon, but if they play land, they don't have the mana to play the Alseid anyways, so... yeah, let's start on the Song of Freylace, get a bit of mana. So the question is, how do I want to play this? I think I want to put the rune on Sythis and play Gilded Goose. That seems appropriate. So... Oh no, I can't. Haha, Shroud. Shroud is a thing. So I put it on the Gilded Goose. Yeah. The Shroud also, like, blocks everything. Hexproof only blocks the opponent. And I think, like, Shroud is a pretty good mechanic in itself. I don't... Like, I feel like Shroud is... prevents some shenanigans from your side, but it's a feel bad. I get that, so that's why it's not played, I think. I could have also put it on land or something like that. Then it would have been harder to remove, because if they remove the Gilded Goose, the rune also falls off, obviously. But if I put it on a land, it doesn't fall off, and then it's like, for each enchantment you play bonuses, that's where this then shines then. The one awkward part here for sure is the fact that we just don't have enchantments in the hand, and I don't want to use this Conclave Tribunal here. They put an enchantment on top. What could that possibly be? Because they want to draw land here, don't they? I mean, I will see it and I can react accordingly. So that's fine. Okay. I think this is a hard decision by them. If they, I don't know what's in their hand. I assume that this could be Heliod control. Like, that's what I've also seen, not just pure life gain, but just Heliod control with a few enchantment win conditions. And like, you put it a bunch of enchantments, then Heliod is basically just a 3-mana 5/5 indestructible commander that acts as your beatdown and block plan in a control shell. And I assume this is what we're facing here, instead of just the classic 1-2-3 life gain aggro shell. Okay. They're still thinking. Okay, Dawn of Hope is the value engine. I respect that. Yeah, this shows me that this is very likely the very likely the control version. Oh, huge, massive. Okay, I could now, since I know they don't have a land, I can just. I'm still a bit. I'm still off of actually equipping this mask and then swinging in. So I'd rather just play it safe, I think. Okay. And the question is still, do I even want to take this Altar of the Pantheon? Like, if I could actually swing in with a mask on one of these two immediately, that would have been, like, I would have considered to actually use this Conclave Tribunal immediately. Yep. Okay. I just want to get the life gain for the voice, which is reasonable, but their downfall. So I can only equip this mask on the Gilded Goose. It's Gilded Goose Voltron time, guys. But let's see. Unbridled Growth, sure. Put it on you. And I have the Karametra's Blessing to back up my Gilded Goose, so that's a pretty big threat. Lifelink Vigilance, Trample Indestructible, Flying 13/15, Gilded Goose. Sure. I could have cracked this post combat to find another enchantment. Baffling Hand, sure. Tap you. Give you the good old Hexproof Indestructible. And that's not guaranteed lethal yet. Okay. They surrendered, so it is guaranteed lethal, but they could still have some removal spells. GG. we are done with the games. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. And yes, this Harvest Hand, still a very, very strong commander and a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, what's there to say? It's, you play Sythis, you draw cards, you gain life, you have fun. Again, this specific version basically cuts down on all the top end and plays way more early interaction than the other decks. So this has up and downsides, basically. If it gets into a very, very long and grindy match, you're usually not that favored, but not necessarily, because if you're like multiple draw engines, then having all these super cheap enchantments, even if they don't do anything if they enter the battlefield, just having them in the deck just allows you to draw so many more cards than the opponent, which is pretty good. So that is like still an upside to that. Like pure card quantity wise, you will sometimes get beaten out, like the game with just like Ulamog. We could have beaten the Ulamog actually, but the rest around it was a bit too tough, and the Ulamog exiled the wrong cards. Ulamog, like the exile, is only really relevant if you play against a deck that has a like toolbox going on, but which this deck kind of does with my Idyllic Tutor. But yeah, overall, if you want to play this deck on a budget, what can you cut? What do you need? And to that I say most of these cards are pretty good. I think you can cut Calyx, you can cut Mirari's Wake, you like the lands. I mean, dual color is pretty important because you sometimes go from casting triple white into triple green in a turn, and that can become quite annoying. I mean, just don't make the mistake of playing colorless lands in this deck, goddammit. I think the most important cards here to watch out for are the draw engines, so something like Setessan Champion, Enchantress Presence, your tutors with Sterling Grove, Idyllic Tutor, and your finishers, so those would be Sigil of the Empty Throne, Archon, Nettlecyst, those kinds of cards. Because this is how this particular deck actually wins the game, from like just buffing something to make it absolutely massive and then just swing it in. Yeah, this is the basic idea behind this version. Yeah, other than that, the cheap interaction is obviously great. Mox Ember, just craft a card, you will love it. You will never look back. It's amazing. And yeah, basically, you can also just cut, like, if you see a lot of graveyard decks, Rest in Peace is great. If you don't, then it is not. So that is a thing to consider. Again, I used to have Grafdigger's Cage and Containment Priest instead of Rest in Peace and Mirari's Wake for a little bit of tournament testing. But you have some flex slots in this deck for sure. If you enjoyed today's video, please like the video. Would mean a lot to me, and I will see you tomorrow.